Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet a marketing guru. She wants every entrepreneur to win. Her incredible journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
All right, so I'm obviously a marketing person, so I'm attracted to people who know this business better than I do, and that describes my next guest. Amber Gaige is in the studio. She's with Far Beyond Marketing. Thank you for coming on the show.
I'm so thrilled to be here, Jeff. Thank you so much for having me.
And you're a genius. I mean, when I met you in the lobby, big smile. I mean, you just love life, don't you?
I do love life.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
You only get one.
Okay, and you're a third-generation entrepreneur, and I think you're raising a fourth generation, which is cool.
It seems to be.
Okay,
yeah.
So let's start at the beginning. So your parents, grandparents, entrepreneurs?
Yes,
All right,
yes. So both sides of my family,
Okay.
our grandparents were entrepreneurs.
Love it.
My grandfather in Southern Louisiana was always corporately employed, but he always had a property to flip or a car to rebuild. My father helped him build a beach house when he was 14
Wow.
and learned how to do plumbing and electrical work when they bought the sticks that were in the sand. And they said, boys, we're going to build a house. So, you know, very kinesthetic involved, very independent, very old school Polish immigrant.
And they passed on that gene to you, and I think you're
did.
passing it on to your kids.
Yes.
Tell me about entrepreneurship. What do you love entrepreneurs?
Well, you know, being a 7th-generation Texan, you know, in Texas, freedom is everything.
Yes.
And entrepreneurship for me is the ultimate opportunity to be free.
Yes.
So entrepreneurship allows us to plan our own path. It allows us to roll the dice. It allows us to have the kind of life that we want.
Yes.
And it allows us to lift others up
Yes.
and help them to live the life that they want.
Okay, we're both passionate about telling people stories. I mean,
Yeah.
for 25 years, I did it professionally on different news stations, and now I'm doing it in the private sector through public relations and podcasting. What is it about storytelling that fascinates you?
Oh, storytelling. Storytelling is a great unifier, isn't it?
It is.
I think you can go to a cocktail party and you can be so bored until someone tells you a great story. And I think there are so many times in entrepreneurship where we forget that the
Yes.
story matters.
Yes.
So if we apply storytelling to our business, then what we do inevitably is we drown out the competition.
Yes.
And that's what we want.
And sometimes you go to somebody's website, and it might be beautifully designed, but you go through the whole website, you still don't know what they do.
You can't tell.
No.
And most people bounce off a website in 4 seconds or less.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
you got to grab them.
you've got to grab them, and you have to help them to understand what's in it for them. It's not just about telling your story. It's about how do I help you achieve your goals?
Yes. We're going to pull up her website. She has a beautiful website, and as we scroll down the website, you have a number of different services that you offer. So maybe describe some of the services, and what does a good client look like for you?
Sure. A great client for us looks like an entrepreneur who is ready to grow. Usually our entrepreneurs are someone who have been burned by marketing in the past and they don't know why their marketing was not successful.
Yes.
That's not fair. When every dollar has a purpose and you're self-employed,
Yes.
you can't afford for your marketing to not work.
Yes.
So we offer story branding, we offer consultation, we offer full range of digital media buying, and we offer strategic marketing guidance as a fractional CMO. We're here to help.
Wow. Okay. Tell me one of your favorite success stories.
Okay, so one of my favorite success stories, I love the entrepreneurs that are in a special niche, because what we know is that as an entrepreneur, we're desperate when we start our business.
Yes.
We want to serve everyone, but it's not sustainable, is it, Jeff?
No.
We have to make sure that we have an ideal client.
Yes.
So give me the customer that is having a hard time targeting their customer, and that's going to make me happy.
Yes. So like it could be B2C or B2B.
B2B or B2C, absolutely, either one, right. But there's always a story to tell.
Yes.
So we helped a company who was renting $1 million pieces of real estate, and they couldn't understand how to break through the clutter to help people know it wasn't just about getting a VRBO. It was about getting a private chef. It was about getting a private driver. It was about getting daily maid service. And when you talk about the audience that you're trying to hit digitally, you're talking about a bullseye within a bullseye within a bullseye. So we help them to develop their story. We help them to develop their sales funnel, their landing page, their website, and their ads using data science to hit that nose on the head.
Love it. Okay, so I'm going to tell you an analogy, and I want you to chime in on this. Cheesecake Factory. I hate their menu.
Yes.
Because it's like a phone book, and there's too many choices.
Yeah.
I like the place where they just give you a one pager, and I'll have the salad.
Yeah.
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 So some companies are trying to do too much, aren't they?
They are. Yeah, they say the most successful companies offer 1 to 3 things, and that's it. And the least successful companies offer 10 to 20.
Yes. Sometimes I use the analogy of Apple. So I'm a big Apple fan. You know, we're an Apple family. It could be overwhelming. When you go to the Apple homepage, it could be overwhelming, but it's not. It's very intuitive, and they slowly kind of guide you to whatever you're trying to buy. What are your thoughts on how do you tell your story on your homepage?
I think the story on your homepage has to follow a methodology that guides the human decision-making process. Apple does this very well, where you highlight the problem that you solve, you present a 3-part plan about how you help your client succeed, and then you always give a strong call to action multiple times. But we know that first dates are not always successful, right?
Correct.
So if you're not ready to respond to a call to action, you need a secondary call to action. And that is, I'm going to give you something as a reward for coming to my website. Maybe it's a free quiz. Maybe it's a downloadable PDF. But it's something with an intrinsic value of about $10 that's going to inspire you to give me your email address, and we'll talk later.
Love that. And she eats her own cooking because on her website you can find her book. Let's go ahead and put this on the screen, because Far Beyond Marketing Guidebook. Tell us about this.
So this was a labor of love. My guidebook took about a year to write and about a year to edit. But after 20 years of marketing a variety of different capacities nationally and locally, what I found was that I came up with a simple system called the 4 C's of effective marketing. And in the guidebook, we spell out, if you will follow the process of the 4 C's of successful marketing, we can guarantee that your marketing will scale usually about 10x.
Love it. Okay, give us the 4 C's.
Okay, the 4 C's are, number 1 is clear copy. How do you talk about your company in a way that people will listen? It's story branding. Annihilate your competition by making sure that you're clear and compelling. The second C is consistent branding. We love to play with fonts. We love to play with colors, but don't do it. Be consistent. Let's make sure that we're always knowing who we are, what we embody, and who our customer is. The third C is customer demographic. So often people will advertise to people who are not actually their client, Jeff. Again, we have to niche down. The more niched we are, the more money we make. It's so much more than zip code, household income, age, gender. A demographic is also a psychographic. Know who your customer demographic is and highlight them in all of your marketing and target your call to action for them. And the last C is channel management. Rinse and repeat. We're not in to turn them and burn them. We want to serve our clients again and again, because you and I both know, being in marketing, it's a lot less expensive to upsell a current client than to go get a new one.
Okay, so for you, and I know you've spent some time in corporate America and obviously an entrepreneur, very successful entrepreneur. What does a great client look like in terms of company size?
Company size, I think, varies in terms of, for my company, we're usually working with entrepreneurs that are $500,000 and up. We also do a lot of consulting for national brands who are trying to marry national branding on a local level and get the juxtaposition to work successfully for their local brands. But yeah, we really don't discriminate in terms of size in general, but probably $500,000 to $2 million, someone who's ready to scale. We also really specialize in helping those entrepreneurs who are ready to exit. You need to systemize your marketing. You need things that are documented before someone's going to come pick you up. So let's get your marketing working while you sleep so that you can get that great multiple.
And across all industries?
Across all industries.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You inspire me. She also gives away the gold, so she appears on countless podcasts. We've got a little video from one of her recent podcasts. Tell us about you. I do think you have the heart of a teacher, so you always give away free information on these different podcasts. What are some basics? Let's call it 101 for the entrepreneur who they know they need to market, but they're like, gosh, do I buy a billboard? Do I buy a radio ad? I mean, what's 101?
Yeah, one-on-one really is begin with the end in mind. What are your operational goals for your business? Your operational goals for your business inform your marketing, not the other way around. So know what your goal is, know who you're trying to target, and then build your marketing strategy with the right mix of tactics that will boost those goals. Common problem, Jeff, is that people will just do marketing tactics. Let me just do social media.
Right.
Let me just do paid ads. It doesn't work that way. Marketing is a 7-layer chocolate cake.
Yes.
You need all the bites to make it delicious.
And I love that because so many people in the marketing world, they just specialize in social media. So the answer to every question is you need a robust social media account. And that doesn't answer all problems, does it?
Doesn't. No. I mean, what we're seeing statistically is that 43 interactions are being required online before people take a single buying decision.
Wow.
43 interactions if they don't know your brand.
No kidding.
You got to be everywhere.
Okay, so we're in the final 2 or 3 minutes of the show. I know there are people watching this right now saying, gosh, I think I need to engage Amber. How does the process work? They reach out to you through the website? What does like an introductory meeting look like? I mean, do you give kind of free advice to see if it's a fit?
Absolutely, absolutely. So you can book a call with me or one of my team members by going to farbeyondmarketing.com. We'll give you free 30 minutes of our time. We want to hear from you. We want to understand what your pain points are. We want to understand what's working and what's not working. And then from there, you can engage with us to create a strategic marketing plan that will grow your business.
And I'm sure you're like me that if it doesn't fit, I mean, if you cannot be successful with somebody, you don't take them on.
Absolutely. And we don't do any kind of long-term contracts. We personally believe that we should earn your business every single month. Month-to-month contracts is the way that we roll.
Beautiful. You're my sister from another mister.
I love it.
All right, we're going to end with her website, which is farbeyondmarketing.com, the great Amber Gaige. Thanks for coming on the show.
It's been a privilege.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.